Hi guys, and welcome to the video. So we are here, we're at the end of Star Trek Discovery Season 4. And this is the finale, this is the final episode. This is it, this is the final episode of this season-long arc, okay? There's a lot to go through, but I'm just going to quickly break down the finale and the things that happen, and then I'll point to some things that I noticed, some things that I liked, which is really going to be a small list, and some of the things that I disliked, which is probably going to be a big list. But stick with me. Everything's okay. All right, everything works out in the end. Spoiler alert. So what happens in this episode? Okay, well, the episode opens and we have Federation headquarters warping to Earth. We have the return of Tilly. Tilly has come back. Tilly has returned to Discovery. What can I say about that? It's Tilly. Tilly's back. Yay. She's briefing her cadets and she's telling them where to go and what to do. So they arrive at Earth and Admiral Vance... His name's Admiral Vance. I'm getting kind of good with these names. They're basically there to intercept the DMA and try and save Earth in some fashion. We cut to Discovery and they're still chasing Book and Tarka. Tarka's going, look, this is gonna work. I'm gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be fantastic. And Book's like, mate, you don't know what you're doing. Obviously, things are gonna go badly. I don't think this is gonna work. You've got to let us out of this. Reno is pretty much going, yeah, basically, need to let us out. I don't know whether it fell through the force field or it was already in the force field. But Book picks up his cat's collar, and his cat doesn't like hollows, apparently, holograms. So there's an anti-hologram collar that Book somehow uses to punch through the force field at some point. Burnham on Discovery is basically saying, I need to lock the delegates up, okay, because someone clearly betrayed us. The general person of Earth, she just says, yeah, it was me. Don't bother locking anybody up, it was me. I know that I did bad thing. I was trying to protect Earth. She gets confined to quarters, but she says, you know where I am if you need me. Haha. Discovery receive a message from Tennesseeee. They basically just don't know what the hell to do. So Tennesseeee are basically confused at this point and they don't know what the hell's going on. The Vulcan lady mind melds with them through the ship, the glass on the ship of the ship's hull. I'm not sure how that worked. At this point, I am so drained from Discovery that I just accept what I'll accept what they're showing us. That's absolutely fine. So she has a neural brain fart, and she basically says the Tennesseeee are confused. They don't know why this ship is doing this. Saru's by her bedside and says, look, you've got to open yourself up to relationships and blah, 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 blah. So Book on Bacca's ship. So back on Booker's ship, and Tarka's saying, look, we can do this. You're going to see people again. Come to another universe. All your family will be there. And Reno's like, no, they won't be your family. And Book's like, yeah, I know. They won't even be my family. You're wrong. So that fails. So Book manages to open up a little tiny cat flap in the force field because his cat Grudge. Hey, I learned his name. The cat's name is Grudge. Yeah, he creates this cat flap and he manages to get out the force field. Now, Discovery at this point, oh, please don't go there. Please don't go there. Discovery, obviously outside the galaxy at this point, thousands of light years away from what is supposed to be the Federation. Yeah, you get to see where I'm going? Thousands of light years away. And they got this spore drive, obviously. And they're in this bubble. And they've got to get out of this bubble so they can stop Tarka and Book. Stamets says, well, you can use the spore drive to jump out, even though there's no mycelial network. But they explain it away with some jargon bullshit. Discovery can use the spore drive to jump out of the bubble. However, this will destroy the spore drive and they won't be able to get it operational unless they get to a space dock. Okay, so they're going to be stranding themselves a certain amount of thousands of light years away. You see where this could be going. So they decide to use it, and they get out of the bubble, and it destroys the spore drive. And lots of people get exploded and blown up, and, you know, the flamethrowers are back. The lethal flamethrowers that were on the bridge, they make a glorious return. And we even see some shooting out of a grate in engineering. And I'm thinking, this, again, who would want to serve on this ship? It's just insanely dangerous simply to be on one. Engineering on the Enterprise and Voyager never had grates in the floor that could, I don't know, set you on fire. But hey-ho, whatever. Book gets out of the containment field and punches Tarka in the face. Knocks him clean out, straight through a force field. Booker and Reno try to stop it, realise they can't because they can't get past Tarka's encryptions. So Book says, "Tell Michael I love her," and beams Reno back to Discovery. Reno goes, "That man loves you," to Burnham, and Burnham's like, "Yeah, I know. Hello, I'm Space Jesus. Of course he loves me." I might be being a tad sarcastic with this video. You know. So obviously, Book is going to try and stop the ship. He's going to wake Tarka up and try and stop what's happening. He realises that Burnham's got to do whatever she's got to do to stop him. Reno tells Burnham, "You're going to have to stop him." And he knows that. He says, "You know, whatever you do, stop me. Whatever the cost." The DMA starts approaching Earth, and Tilly and Admiral Vance basically start evacuation procedures. They're going to stay behind, try and fend off all these asteroids that are obviously been affected gravitationally by the DMA and are plummeting into Earth. Back to Discovery, they need to stop Booker's ship. They determine that someone's going to have to go on a suicide mission and just ram the ship and stop them. And Burnham looks at Detmer and goes, "We're going to need one hell of a pilot." And Detmer just goes, "I'm ready to sacrifice myself to the altar of Space Jesus. I shall sacrifice my life because I'm so amazing." Okay. And obviously the general goes, "No, I can do it. I've been a pilot for a long time. I'll do it. I need to stop the DMA and redeem myself. I'll do it, and if I don't make it, just tell Earth that I love them." And you get this look on Detmer's face. Detmer is absolutely mortified that she can't go on the suicide mission and prove how awesome she is. She has this look on her face like, "Oh, come on." Which I found really funny. So the general's going to go ram Booker's ship, and I tell you what, it's just it's just one of these things that the president lady does, and she goes, oh, that's so heroic." It's cut back, and Tilly and Vance are still shooting things off. They tell people to evacuate, and Tilly decides to stay behind because she's all heroic, and everything in the asteroids are going into Earth. Everyone fucks off except her and Vance. And we cut to Tarka's ship. Again, this episode is back and forth. The whole season is back and forth. I'm going to go back and forth as the episode goes back and forth. Book's woken Tarka up and he says, "Look, we've got to stop this thing. You've got to do it." And he goes, "I can't do it. I want to get back to my universe." He says, "Well, you know, none of that is going to happen. We've got to stop it. You're never going to get him back. He's gone. You know, your boyfriend type thing, he's gone. We've got to stop this no matter what." And Tarka's like, "I can't stop it. I'm too smart for myself. I put too much encryption on it. We ain't going to be able to stop it." Tarka has a good cry, of course. Book gives him a hug. And says, "Oh no, it'll be all right." Then the general person is going to, you know, fly into Book's ship. And she does. She flies into Book's ship. Now, kamikaze run at Book's ship. Book and Tarka are flung across the bridge in a glorified explosion of sparks and flamethrowers, as his tradition here on Discovery. So they're knocked the fuck out. But the general flew her ship into Book and Tarka's ship. It exploded. Book wakes up. Tarka still can't stop it. The ship's too badly damaged and is in super level encryption. He's not smart enough to outsmart himself, whatever. Anyway, Clark says, you're going back to Discovery, and hopefully the explosion will be enough to power my device so I can get back to my universe. Book gets beamed off, and Book's ship explodes, and Tarka is on the ship. And he's got this look on his face like, I'm going to go home with my transporter device. I'm going to go to my other universe. The universe that he wants to go to, or is it his universe? I don't know. I'm really struggling at this point. Book makes it off the ship. It's really interesting because you have these transporters that are instantaneous, okay? Beam out, beam in. We've seen it all season, all right? But Book beams off this ship, and Discovery has to pick up his transporter signal and beam him aboard. I'm like, well, how does that work? I'm trying to get my head around it. I can't be bothered to get my head around it. We're on the final episode. Whatever. But he doesn't make it. He doesn't make it. Book doesn't make it as the ship explodes. He's almost on the bridge, but no. Seemingly, Book is gone. And obviously, Burnham has a good cry because why wouldn't you? You know, and everyone's just like, oh my God, Book's dead, Book's dead. But we have to show how strong Space Jesus is because she's lost someone and she's literally like, I need to be captain right now. So I'm going to be captain and let's get on with the mission. Now, the reason it didn't have any impact with me is because I knew that there would be some contrivance that would allow Book to come back. Spoiler alert, he's not dead. All right, and there's a reason for that I'll get to. We're back to crisis situation with Tilly and Admiral Vance. And once again, crisis situation, they decide to have a drink. We know, crisis situation, people in Discovery like to talk about their past. Back to Discovery, and the Tennesseeee basically said, okay, you want to talk, we'll bring you over in a shuttle. They go to the Tennessee's homeworld, and we finally see what the Tennesseeee are. The Tennesseeee are a highly advanced civilization, okay? They've built highly advanced technology, but they are literally giant floating bugs. There's probably any number of explanations, but I think, come on, really? The Tennesseeee are just giant bugs. All right, and they communicate with light beams that come out of the front of them, their face. All right, so what can you do? That's the Tennesseeee. That's who they are. So Burnham says this is a momentous occasion. All the bridge crew are invited to come and speak to the Tennesseeee as well, or come and bear witness to this. Everybody deserves to be there. None of the diplomats that were brought on the mission, don't invite them. She invites the crew of Discovery, not the diplomats, not the people who are trained to speak to new species. No. Got to have the bridge crew and like the doctor person and like the president of the Federation, and that's it. None of the trained diplomats. You're just gonna have the Discovery crew. And I was like, okay, fine. Like the rest of Discovery, I had to switch my brain off. For most of Discovery, I just left it off for this episode, possibly this video as well. So they're talking to Tennesseeee and they're basically explaining what you do bad. Okay, you're killing us, you're destroying us. And the Tennesseeee are all linked. Okay, they're all linked. They exist as one, like the changelings in DS9, kind of like the Borg, but they even say no, it's nothing like the Borg. It's like they're all linked. How is it not like the Borg? And they say, well, they don't understand individuality. I'm thinking, kind of like the Borg. They come up with some fucking stupid explanation as to why they're not like the Borg. So they manage to explain to the Tennesseeee that what they do bad is bad. And the Tennesseeee go, oh bugger, what we do bad? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. And they agree to stop. How do I explain it? The Tennesseeee agree they're going to be more careful with the scanning and the mining operation to collect their boronite. The DMA stop, all right, or they're buggering off. The Tennesseeee go, oh, Space Jesus, you appear to be sad. Why are you still crying? And she's going, the man I love was lost. And they go, no, he wasn't. We just intercepted his transport. We didn't know what it were. We didn't understand anything about it, but we just thought we'd intervene. And Book appears like the goddamn fucking Messiah. And Burnham's like, how dare you appear to be Space Jesus? I'm Space Jesus. No, they have a hug. He's alive. And everyone's so goddamn shocked. I wasn't, I'll be honest with you. I thought, yeah, Book's going to come back. Of course he is. Talker, probably not. Maybe not until next season when they visit another fucking universe. And he goes, guys, I made it. So Burnham's all happy and Book goes, is that the Tennesseeee? I want to talk to them. I've got a bone to pick with them. And Burnham, knowing that Book is feeling still pretty raged, about his own planet, decides to let him talk to the Tennesseeee, this all-powerful fucking species that could destroy Earth. And fucking a Book. Book basically goes, he's basically telling them what you're doing isn't good enough, pulling the DMAs away and promising not to be so indiscriminate when you're mining. You've got to stop doing it because you're destroying lives. And I thought, well, that's a good point. To be fair, you're destroying lives. You're not taking very much care, and you're doing it to stay hidden. And he just goes, it's not a very good thing staying hidden. We all got to work together. We're all part of the same. We're all connected. And his head starts glowing the way it used to do on his home planet. And he goes, You've got to stop your mining. You've got to be sure it never happens again. And I thought, well, to be fair, I would probably have said the same thing to the species Tennesseeee. I'd have said, look, it's not enough that you simply back off what you're doing. You've got to stop, because you could be mining on a planet where life has yet to evolve, but could do in the future. I mean, you always had the thing, certainly in Enterprise, where it says, I like to test the weapons. Let's test it on a dead moon where there's absolutely no chance of life, ever forming. We don't want to kill some bacteria that could turn out to be a sentient species and all that. So he's got a good point. Anyway, they basically go, oh yeah, we feel your sadness, we feel your pain, we feel your feelings. We're going to stop altogether. And that's it. The day is saved. Everybody's saved. The DMAs are stopping. And then we get an epilogue where everybody's happy and cheering. And the whole thing with Discovery getting stranded, obviously, I don't know how the Tennesseeee, it must have happened off screen where they said, oh, by the way, could you send us home as well? So species Tennesseeee open up a wormhole and Discovery gets back to Earth. And there's much partying to be had, many drinks to be had. Space Jesus sees Tilly, gives her a hug, and Tilly's like, oh my God, Space Jesus, I'm back. And everybody's happy and smile, and it's really cheesy. I did kind of cringe a little bit. Everyone's happy to see each other. Saru gets a girlfriend. He's finally got together with Mrs. President Lady. We have this speech by Burnham saying how awesome everybody is and how we must all work together and not be divided anymore, how borders shouldn't matter. I don't know. President Lady goes, I was wrong about you. You are now ready to command the USS Voyager. And she goes, well, I'm not going to do that because I like Discovery too much. And they both have a good laugh. And she says, oh, what are you going to do? And turns out Book needs to get punished for, violating the laws that he did, and that's absolutely fine. He gets community service. He gets a community service for the outreach program, a relief aid for the victims of the DMA, which I thought was quite fitting. And they say goodbye, and people go on a shore leave, the places that they would have visited. Everyone's really happy. Again, really cheesy. Then the Earth president says we're ready to rejoin the Federation because, Earth isn't in the Federation, and they need to rejoin the Federation. And they realise Space Jesus has got a big ass mission now to bring more people into the Federation and explore more space. That is the breakdown of the episode. Right, now my opinion on this episode. As a season ending episode, it was alright. It was quite good. It capped off the season very well. The problem is with this season is it was shit. The entire season was shit. The story was shit. It was poorly executed. And we had 12 episodes of complete filler with no real progression. And it turns out that the entire season was about a species of bugs that didn't know what they were doing was destructive by destroying worlds inside our galaxy. They operate outside the galaxy, and the entire season is about Burnham going to tell them to stop. And that's it. That's the whole fucking season. It was a shit story, but I mean, the first 2 acts of this episode were all right. They were kind of entertaining. Towards the end, it's like this message of we all need to be together, we're all one. It's a good message, but it's just told so cheesily, and it's just, this Discovery doesn't resemble Star Trek at all. I mean, towards the end, you get the rejoining of the Federation. I'm thinking you didn't need to pull the Federation apart just to have Space Jesus come in and fucking fix everything because she's so fucking amazing. You didn't need to do that. You could have gone to a future that was bright and cheerful. You could make it work, and it could have lasted for thousands of years. It could have lasted those 900 years, but no, you had to have the burn, and you had to fragment the Federation so Space Jesus can come in and fucking fix it. And then then if that wasn't bad enough, you had a species of bugs that were outside the known galaxy, but beyond the stupid galactic barrier. I don't care if that was set up in previous Star Trek or not. It's stupid. I don't like it. It's a stupid idea. They're basically just mining, not knowing that there's all the sentient life out there, destroying entire fucking planets, and it's up to Space Jesus to go and fucking fix it. And I swear season 5 will probably be the same. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're planning for season 5. It was a good episode. It was a shit season. I'm not going to lie, it was a shit season. Now, I've had some comments on my channel that have said that I want to hate, and that's simply not the case. All right, I'm going to say it now. I don't want to hate new Star Trek. I don't like hating Star Trek, but I do dislike Discovery. Now, I've given you basic episode rundowns, and I have taken the piss a lot out of Discovery. I'm very aware of that. But the reason I'm making these videos is I'm pointing out what I think makes it shit, in the hope, the smallest of hope, that people will go, you know what, actually, yeah, it is pretty shit. We need something better. Discovery is terrible Star Trek, and it has been for a while. So that's it. That's the season. That's season done. I won't be doing any more Discovery videos until season 5 comes out. I certainly won't be doing any more review videos. I am thinking of doing a season retrospective video where I'll go into more detail. I don't have an awful lot of time to make these videos, these review videos, so I have to be kind of brief with them. But I have been thinking about doing a season-long retrospective where I can go into more detail. So if you want to see that, then let me know in the comments section. If you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, then please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Remember to like and share the video as well. It's been an absolute pleasure doing these videos. I've really enjoyed them. I have got angry at times. I'll be doing reviews of Picard. I'll be reviewing Strange New Worlds when that comes out. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I want to like it. But they're not really got a great track record with this stuff. I will be reviewing that when it comes out. So thank you for watching, and I hope you are all having a fantastic time wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Look after yourselves, take care of one another, and I will see you in my next video. Take it easy. Bye-bye for now.
I need the silence, stop the violence of the war in my head. Time's the healer, the eraser of all done and said. And as I fall back to my shelter, I know I'll